Gang, this is Jason Jones.
How's it going?
Great.
Doing good.
How about you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Mac has told us quite a few times that he really loves the back end of the defense. You guys go 4 deep at safety. There's really not much of a drop off. Just kind of go over those 4 guys and how strong they are, and really is there much of a drop off with if you go from one to the other?
One of the things we started out when we started spring and when we went into fall camp, we wanted to develop depth, and so the plan was to try to have a solid 2 deep guys that you can roll in, put into the games, and so it's not a drop off. And guys have been working hard. They've been working hard, doing everything that we've asked them to do, studying, and Elijah, he's back at corner. He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job just being a leader, in the room. And he every day he comes to practice, works hard, doing a great job getting his hands, just trying to get his hands on balls. Great job just communicating in the back end. And also, Marcus, Marcus Allen, he's really, he played a lot last year and sort of got thrown into it early as a young player. That really helped him. You can tell he's more mature. The way he approaches practice and the meetings, and just the way he's just changed his body in the off season. Coach Hess has done a great job with him. He had a great fall camp, so he's doing a great job. And we have Taran Stewart, we call him Dooley. He came in this spring, and he's been a great addition to the room. Quiet, doesn't say a whole lot, just shows up, compete. He's gritty, he's tough, does a great job of just challenging the wide receivers outside. And then the other guy that's in the mix, Ty Adams. Ty redshirted for us last year, and had a good spring, good fall camp. And so he's been doing a good job. So we just got to continue to work and bring those guys along, and I think we'll have the depth that we need. And Zion Ferguson and Jalen Thompson and Khalil Conley, those are the younger guys that are also doing a good job. Young, still learning, still working their tails off, but doing a good job.
We talked to Marcus a couple weeks ago. He said he put on 11 pounds, and it's all strength. The added strength is helping him knock guys off their landmark. That with the press coverage, a little bit more physicality at the snap. What have you seen from him throughout fall camp as far as progressing in that area?
It's been good. Last year he played. He played at like 170, 175, something like that. And with the wide receivers being outside, wideouts now 6'3", 200 pounds, and at times at the top of the route, wideouts would push off to create the separation, and it would end up being a completion. And so the challenge this the off season was to gain weight, but to put on lean muscle mass, right? So that now he's adding an extra 10 pounds, but he's faster and he's stronger. So that was a challenge, and I tell you, he did a great job of getting with Amber, our nutritionist, getting with Coach Hess and really changing his body. And now you'll see when he's playing like press man, the wide receivers, that when they push off and try to create that separation, he's staying attached to that wide out. They're not pushing him like 2 and 3 yards on top of the route, and now that's putting him in position to contest throws and things like that. So that's been really good for him.
Jason, with Marcus, and I'm sure that the added weight and strength are going to be key for him the way you guys want to play, but I think it was 915 snaps he played last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably just too much to your liking, I would think. Like, what, in terms of the depth that you were talking about earlier, I mean, do you need the Dooleys and the Ty Adams and those guys to play more, the backup guys to play more than they did last year at your position?
Oh yes, Marcus played more snaps than I think any other DB in the country, and that was way too many snaps. And part of it, we had some injuries at this position, and then we had to move Elijah. We had to move some guys around, so he played way too many snaps. So that was the main focus when the season ended, is to go find some guys that can add depth and get the younger guys ready so that they could play. And we want to be able to play more guys. That's one of the things Coach Collins and Coach Brown we talked about ever since the season ended, is developing a solid 2 deep, so that we can put guys in the game to give guys a rest when it's time, and there's not a drop off. So we definitely want to play as many guys as possible, because now the injuries go down, guys are fresher, and usually when the guys are fresh, they make more plays. So we definitely want to play more guys.
Coach made the joke as you were walking up, telling you, tell your guys to stop holding. In all seriousness, though, how important is it for you guys to dominate these guys in practice and give them a hard test, knowing what they're going to have to do in the regular season and complement the running game with Amarian?
Yeah. And, wide receiver coaches all over the country, they say the same thing, right? I've been a lot of places, and they always accuse the DBs of holding. So I think that's a requirement to be a wide receivers coach,
It means you got the better of them that day, I guess, probably.
Yeah, it goes back and forth, But I tell you, Coach Galloway does a great job. His that wide receiving core that he has every day, we have to show up and be ready to work. Because if you don't show up, or if you come out here and you try to go through the motions, then you're going to be exposed. There's going to be deep balls, and it's going to be touchdowns. And so, it's like we always talk about iron sharpens iron, right? And so we have to show up every day ready to work. And but those wide receivers, he has a good group. They work hard every day, and they're just making us better, and we're making them better.
So you talked about obviously having Elijah Huzzy back at his natural position at corner. Obviously he was at the star, a lot last year. What are some of your expectations, I guess, out of him now that he does get to play, more so on that outside with, Allen, on the other side of him?
I tell you, one of the things that he brings is that he's really smart, and he's savvy. We when we recruit guys, you look for a certain skill set, right? The hips, the feet, the twitch. He's football smart. He understands football. He understands backfield sets. He understands formations. He understands wide receivers alignments. Like if a wide receiver's 2 yards on the bottom of the numbers, 2 yards on top of the numbers, what kind of routes I'm going to get. So that allows him to play ahead of the play. And also he does a great job of just communicating to, if he's working with the star on that play, or if it's the strong safety or the free safety, he does a great job communicating, because last year he was the star, and now sliding back out at corner, he sort of understands the defense and where all the pieces fit. But he does a great job. If I tell you, one of the unique things that he has, if the quarterback throws the ball, and if he has a chance, or if he gets out of his break and he has a chance to get his hands on it, he'll catch it. Like in practice, if he drops one, the whole team is like shocked. He has amazing ball skills, so it's always good to have a guy outside like that with great ball skills.
Have you kind of seen him helping Caleb Cost, at that position as well? When we were talking to Caleb a few weeks ago, he was kind of citing how he, learned from Huzzy and the things that he did at that star position. How have you seen him kind of helping him out there learning that star position?
He did. I tell you, Huzzy does a great job of, and like that was a challenge, right, to create the depth. And we put it on like the older guys. So we put it on like, hey Huzzy, last year he helped Caleb a lot. And like this year, when Dooley came in, he was helping Dooley. Ty's a redshirt freshman, so Marcus Allen's been helping Ty. So we took an older guy, and it's your job to help this younger guy. So help him out on the field, and they spend a lot of time with each other, right? And they come see us and ask questions, and we meet with them. But a lot of times, we talk about having Coach Brown talks about all the time having a player-led team. And we put it on our older guys, to teach those younger guys. And I tell you, Huzzy and Marcus, they've done a great job.
Where do you feel like from what you've seen and had to go up against in practice, where do you feel the wide receiver group is in terms of talent against maybe the rest of the ACC?
I tell you, those guys outside, they're fast. I mean, they can run. From you take like JJ and Chris Culliver and Nate, and even Ship and all those guys, they can stretch the field on you. They have a huge catch radius, so if the ball is close, they have the ability to come down with it. And so from with us, it's a huge challenge, because now we have to cover the wideouts, and at the same time, with the way our offense is, the wideouts they do a great job on the perimeter as far as blocking, and now we call it a push crack. Well, now they'll push and we think it's a pass, and at the last minute they'll put their foot in the ground and come crack a safety, and now they force us to come tackle a Morgan, and so they do a great job of just forcing us to. You have to be disciplined and you have to be honest, and if you're not, then that's a chance of an explosive.
I'm sorry. Do the college rules favor the offense? And if so, I mean, how do you combat that?
Meaning, just the rules in general.
Rules in general, yeah.
I think just the you asking a defensive guy, I will say yes, but naturally, right. But I think it's just college and NFL, just the way the game is now with the tempo, the spread offenses. Teams be able to line up and wide, like we call it like 3-by-1 open looks, right? Then they can shift and bring a tight end back into the backfield, and now they can load the box and they can hand the ball off. So I think it is tough on the defense, both in the college level and in the NFL level, just from the way the game has changed. I do think it is difficult.
Keeps you on your toes, I imagine.
It definitely keeps you on your toes. It forces guys to study a lot of film, because teams can do a lot of different things out of and get in multiple. I give you multiple looks with the same personnel groupings, right? And so, yes, we do have to study a lot of film, and you have to prepare for a lot of different things.
Going back to my original question about the back, but the depth of the safeties, what I wanted to get to with that was with the quality, the level that they're playing, and both Jeff and Mac have said they're playing at an exceptionally high level. How does that help the guys at the edge, especially if they're going to be a little bit more man coverage, given the way the defense is structured this year? If those guys can be so trusted, how does that make the corners better?
Well, we talk about it all the time, and we talked about it this morning. The rush and the coverage works together, right? So, and the guys in the back end, they want the interceptions and they want the PBUs. And in order to get the interceptions and the PBUs, we have to cover and have to play tight enough coverage to allow Ruck and Dez to get to the quarterback. They get to the quarterback, now the quarterback is throwing the ball off schedule, right? He's on his back foot. There's a bad throw, the timing is off, and that allows us to get our hands on the ball. If we cover well enough and there's no place for the quarterback to go with the ball, now the D-line and the guys up front, they get a chance to get the sacks and the tackles for losses. So we talk about it all the time and every day, that the coverage and the rush works together, and you'll see the guys, like if there's a sack, the guys the guys up front, they're thinking the secondary, and if it's an interception, the guys in the back end, they're thinking the guys up front. So it's been the coverage in the front works together, so it's been really good.
Jason, just working under Jeff now, Collins, how has his approach, just the aggressiveness of it, changed or freed up the way that you coach your guys, the way that you want your guys playing? Like, how do you see the differences there, just with what he wants to do and what you're coaching your guys to do?
Well, I tell you, he's done a great job just coming in and getting to know each player on the defense, and watching film and studying film and finding out what each guy, what his strengths and what his weaknesses are. And he's done a great job of just coming up with the scheme and putting guys in positions so that they can play towards their strengths. And I think that's what you see just a lot of guys in certain positions and doing things that they do well. And because of that, that's that's why you see you see like the pressures and and things like that. But it's he's done a good job. He's done a good job. The guys they love the system. They bought into it, and they love it.
Last one, Fred.
Have you felt a sense of urgency and pressure from, maybe not, even if it is Mac, but maybe the community as a whole, to kind of get this defense heading in a better direction in years past, to make them maybe the strong point of the team? Is that something you felt?
Well, I think it's not. I mean, of course, Coach Brown puts pressure on both sides of the ball, right? Because you want the offense and the defense to be the best in the country. But I think coaches and players, we put the stress on ourselves, and where we want to get it changed. And the leaders on the defensive side of the ball, like your Power Eccles and your Dez Bryants and your Ruckers and your Huzzies and those guys, just all spring, all summer, just meeting and working. And we talk about a player-led team. They wanted to change, and you see them in practice helping each other out. If a guy makes a mistake, they'll get onto him, but at the same time, they'll pick him up. And so when the players want it, and that means more than the coaches, right? And but it's the pressure I think that we're putting on ourselves to get it changed.
Is it too much pressure?
No, it's not too much pressure. No, it's not too much pressure.
Right.
Never
Thanks,
too much
JJ.
pressure. All right. Thank you.
Coach.
Thank you.